This is wild. Let me tell you that. This is wild. And this ban, I'm going to think about it from a global perspective, because it doesn't just impact Africa and parts of the Caribbean and parts of Asia. It also impacts, you need to look at it holistically. This also impacts the way that Americans are going to be able to travel to Europe or are not going to be able to travel to Europe, which obviously is going to impact trade, relationships, geopolitically, just a lot of things, which also makes me grateful that I live in a country like Mauritius, Africa. Again, it's like the Sweden of Africa, of proposed travel ban countries. Let's get a definition for travel ban though. Travel ban means that these citizens who want to go to America will not be able to go to America unless they meet certain requirements. Okay, that's what travel ban means. Okay, it's not necessarily for Americans, but it does impact dual citizenship. If you're someone who has dual citizenship for Sierra Leone in America, for Gambia in America, for Angola in America, for Dominica, for Congo, for Chad, for St. Kitts, for St. Lucia, they're basically going to be eyeballing you a bit closer.
And Liberia, because we have dual citizenship as well with America.
You know, when you're abroad, you already have to have your requirements as far as taxes are concerned. One of our clients in the agency, we have 3 categories, okay? We have the red, which is all travel is banned from those countries. Meaning if you are an Afghanistan person, of Afghanistan descent, of Bhutan descent, of Cuban, Iranian, Libyan, North Korean, Somalian, Sudanese, these red countries, you know, as well as Venezuela and Yemen, your people in those countries are not going to be able to go to America, period. That's the red, all travel banned. The next phase is orange, okay? Orange visas are sharply restricted, meaning if you are from Belarus, Eritrea, Haiti, Laos, Myanmar. Laos and Myanmar are in Asia. Pakistan is also in Asia. Russia, y'all know where Russia is, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, and Turkmenistan. You are going to be restricted from entering America. If you have dual citizenship from Sierra Leone, from Haiti, from some of these places, they're probably going to be monitoring and doing some odd things. This is why, and so these are things that you need to be doing, especially when we see these geopolitical ties shifting quickly. So now let's go to the yellow. These yellow countries have 60 days to report concerns. I'm not sure what that means for Trump. Perhaps that means, you know, maybe they have talks behind the scenes, you know, whatever they talk about. I'm not sure what they talk about. But this is a long list. We have Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, which is in the Caribbean, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cambodia. Again, Benin just announced that they're going to potentially do citizenship for African Americans. We have Cameroon, Cape Verde, Chad, the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, 2 separate places, Dominica, Equatorial Guinea, again in West Africa, Gambia, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania.
Did you hear Liberia on the list? Hold up.
Equatorial Guinea, again in West Africa, Gambia, Liberia, Malawi.
Did you guys hear that? Liberia is on the list of the 44 countries that have a travel ban from Trump. And granted, the travel ban has 3 different categories. Red means you are completely banned. You cannot even enter the country. Orange and then yellow. The orange and the yellow, they say 60 days notice. What exactly that means, don't nobody know. But honestly, I am liking everything that Trump is doing. I am really liking it and I'm loving it. And I'll tell you why. This will awaken us Africans to come home and develop our country. This will make us to love and respect our country again. The continent of Africa will make us to love it again. It will make us to start thinking, having a second thought, a third thought, a fourth thought, a fifth thought. It will make us to start thinking that there is no place like home. If somebody is banning you and restricting you from coming to their house, let's use a house to represent the country. If somebody have restriction and limitation, when you should come to the house, how often you should come to the house, how long you should stay there, when you come to the house. And what if you come to the house uninvited or invited? I'm using house as a metaphor for country. But that should be a sign to let you know to stay in your own house. And if your house is dilapidated, your house is dirty, your house is torn down, something wrong with the roof, something wrong with the foundation, something wrong with the walls, something wrong with the yard, that means you should take another look at your house. Roll up your sleeves and begin to fix your house one room at a time. Tackle one problem at a time. If the problem is roof leakage, fix it. If the problem are doors and windows, fix it. If the problem are walls or foundation, fix it. That's all that is. That's how I look at it. Your house represents a country. So if your country or your house is dilapidated, first of all, who lived in it and made it dilapidated? Who the one that lived in it sat down and did not maintain the house every few years to do some paint, give it some brush up paint jobs, maybe change the window bars, the window sills, the door, whatever. You just live in the house and run it down. And then you pack your bags and you want to get visa and run out of the house and go to your neighbor's house, aka America, Canada, US, UK, whatever. You want to go there. But the people build their house and they maintain their house. Now you want to come and go out, just live in the house, unpack your bags, put your feet on the coffee table, sit back and say, yes, I'm in America, I'm in UK, I'm in Canada. But who built that? You don't want to do the same thing in your own country. You're running off. You're running away when you damage it. Y'all damage it. Well, let's all of us come back and fix it. I didn't damage it. Because I was a youngin', my parents took me to the States almost 40 years ago. So I was a youngin'. But you're adults, those who left as an adult, you all help to contribute to the damaging of your house, aka your country. This is not to judge anybody or condemn anybody or finger point or blame shift. Let all of us now come back together in any little way that we can help to roll up our sleeves, dig in the dirt, and begin to clean up our house, our country, our nation. Some Liberians will stay in America and say, that dirty place, I ain't going back there. You see? You think America is perfect? I was there. There are some cities and some places in America, it is filthy and is run down. You know that if you be honest, but you won't be honest, you'll come on social media and lie. Or some of us know the truth. But I'm not here to pick a fight. I'm just here to encourage and say, beloved, if they're banning you, somebody banning you from going to their house, have some dignity, have some self-respect, have some honor and say, you know what? If my house was clean and nice and put together and safe and secure, I wouldn't have any need to go to somebody else's house. Neither would that person have any right or audacity to ban me from going to their house. I'm using house as a metaphor for country. So we should be ashamed, we should be embarrassed that they have put Liberia on the banned list. Can you imagine that? It's like, what did we do? Well, I've been asking a few Liberians on ground and Liberians in the diaspora, and they told me the reason why. That the previous government used to sell our passport to all to like Nigerians, Ghanaians, Sierra Leone, other Africans who are crooks. I'm not saying all Nigerians are crooks, but the other Africans that are crooks and sell our passport to them, and they went abroad and did all kinds of criminal activity in the name of Liberians. So now that put Liberia on the ban list. You see what happened? What corruption can do? You are eating the money and selling your passport. You just thought I was just money you're eating now. But you don't realize in the future now, you're going to be affected. All of you who sold passport or benefited from the money that, the money you collected from selling the passport, all of you now going to suffer from it. Everyone's going to suffer from it, including you guys who sold the passport rights to other people. You might want to travel now and leave the country, the mess that you two have created. You want to leave, then can put you on a travel ban. Then you will realize what you sow, you will reap. You see that now? You see? It sounds like it makes sense, but I'm like, Liberia, what do we do to Trump? What do we do that we find ourselves on the travel ban list? Why? What exactly do we do? Nothing other than corrupt, greedy, selfish devils sold our passport to criminals for pennies on the dollars. Now they're all suffering. Those who sold the passport, those who didn't sell the passport. Everyone is suffering now because what? The whole country is on a travel ban. You see that now? When we tell you stop doing corruption, you think, oh, man. And you say, oh, this is not America, but you see that now? You see? Beloved, I love what Trump is doing. I love Trump. It will wake many of us up. It will wake us up. My next issue I want to take to that travel ban. All the 43 countries that Trump has put a travel ban, they should also put a travel ban on them. I know most people think America is heavy, America is God, and the world cannot function without America. If America goes down to tomorrow, I guarantee you the world will remain strong. I repeat, our mind has just been brainwashed and colonized and just focused that if you don't live in America or you don't make it in America, you can't make it anywhere. If you don't live in America, you can't live anywhere. I don't hate America, but let's tell some honest truth. I know a lot of Americans who are packing and leaving. I know a lot of Americans who have already left, and many are packing their bags and they're leaving. Born American citizens, white, black, Chinese, they are leaving. Why you want to run and go there? You should ask them why they leaving the country when you want to go there. But if America no longer exists, if it's possible, the world will still go on successfully when we miss it. Why? Because if we are honest, if we are brutal and sincerely honest and we know the truth and the fact, that many of the world's problem was brought on by America and the evil, wicked, corrupt, diabolical, satanic politicians and leaders. So many wars that have been fought in Africa, Haiti, and many of the world, it was brought on by them. You know who's them? Okay. I'm trying to speak in coded language. Okay, America, let's put it that way. Many diseases, they weaponize it against the Africans. You believe me? Hear this clip. Listen to this clip.
In certain parts of this country, rural areas particularly, you know people who have or who have had Lyme disease. For some percentage, it's totally life-destroying. So what is that exactly? Back in 2008, a woman called Chris Newby produced a documentary about Lyme.
Some infectious disease doctors, they don't believe in Lyme.
It's hard to digest all of this. It's just so evil.
I met a CIA black ops guy who said in 1962, the weirdest thing he'd ever done was dropping poison ticks on Cuban sugarcane workers. That was Operation Mongoose. That was the first evidence that we had dropped ticks on a foreign country as a bioweapon. And then the other thing is, one of my filmmaker friends went out to Willy Bergdorfer at the very end. He said, yeah, when I investigated the Lyme disease sickness in the early 80s, there was another organism there. It wasn't just Lyme that was making people sick. It was.
Did you hear that with your ears, or did you hear that with your eyes? Did you hear that with your ears or your eyes or your heart? What kind of evil and wicked nation can that be? That you use human beings as medical lab rats, as guinea pigs? That you weaponize viruses, sicknesses, and disease and release it upon innocent victims? And this has been going on from inception. From the inception of the country, it has been going on. The only difference today now, with the social media and the news and the YouTube, many of the truth that has been hidden, that was called conspiracy theorists or conspiracy theories, are being brought to light. That's the only difference. But this wickedness and evil, it didn't just happen today. It's been going on from time immemorial. It's been going on. It just coming to light now. And even coming to light, some people will still deny and say, no, it's not true. And then I will also hear a lot of Africans will say, Africa and Africans are in the condition that they are in because of the sins of their forefathers. And what our forefathers did, and they worship the idols and this and that. Whether that is true or not, that's not even beside the point. My issue here is, if that is true, for the sake of discussion, let's all agree that statement is true. That Africans and Africa, the continent, they are in the condition that they are in because of the sins of their forefathers. So, and they are paying the consequences of the sins of their forefathers. Okay, I'll give that to you for the sake of discussion. What about the sins of the forefathers of the nation called America and many Western nations? When will they reap the consequences of the sins of their forefathers? Or the God that we serve, he is a partial God, he is a biased God, he plays nepotism, he's not fair? No. If it's the same God we're talking about, he's a fair and just God. And he said he cannot be mocked. A man, a nation, a people group, an empire must reap what they sow. From inception, that nation has been plotting and planning and executing and unleashing wickedness and bioweapon upon humanity. Especially Africa, what they call third world nation. Yes. The only difference is now they are turning their own weapons on themselves and on their own citizens. That's why you see all this outcry and all this moral outcry all in the Western nation now. They're fighting, they're rising. But when they were using Africans and third world nations and black people or brown skinned people as medical lab rats, as guinea pigs, where were the moral outcry? You guys are just saying, oh, you people, you Africans, oh, you are just full of disease, oh, poverty. Now the same thing is at your doorpost. Now you singing a different song now. Oh, why you Africans? Why you can't just get it together? Why you just always war? It's to your doorpost now. Why can't you get it together now? You see what I'm saying? So if we're going to say that Africa is suffering because of the sins of our forefathers, then how do you say about America and the Western nation of the wickedness and evil they have done to humanity? They have done to Africa. They have done to Haiti. They have done to what you call third world nation. They don't want to create what you call third world nation. They sat down in their coven. There's so much thing I can say, but I don't want to say. But they sat down and they created first world, second world, third world, developing nation. They created all those terms and phrases and words. They created it and they made sure those nations live up to the name they gave it. They made sure those nations live up and the population in those nations live up to the title that they give those nations. So if they call you third world nation, they made sure that your name live up to that title. You see that? So when would God allow them who have wreaked havoc on the world, when would they reap the sins of their forefathers? They came, took their Native American land, put it in those spots they call it reserve. It's like somebody come into your house, break into your house, take you, kill most of your relatives. The few ones that survive, they put you in the closet, they call it reserve. Then they want to say you guys are a bunch of, what the term they use there? Not barbarians, that the Africans they call barbarians. I'm coming for that. There's a term they use. They grabbed them, they slaughtered them, brought disease and killed the Native American and put them in a reserve. Then they came and told the whole world that those are a bunch of savages. Who's the real savage now? They weren't satisfied. They came to Africa, colonized the Africans, took some of the Africans to America, dropped on the way to America, they dropped some of them in the Caribbean. That's why you see many Caribbeans' culture is similar to Africans. They dropped them along the Caribbean island, and the one that left on the boat that survived, they took them to America. They cut the limbs. You hear about King Leopold of Belgium. If you hear about King Leopold, go do your research. You see what he did. Cut the Africans' arms and hands off and made chocolate and have it in the museum. Then they came and called the Africans barbarics. Who are the true barbarics? Whatever somebody accusing you of, look, if you don't look too far, you look at them. Even if it's somebody pointing one finger at you, four is pointing right back at them. So they're 4 times as worse as what they're accusing you of. They say the Native Americans were savages. Now we know who the true savages are. They say the Africans are barbarics. Now we know the real barbarics. I finished. This is Dagnet, the African blogger. Thank you.